Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, it's been a rough year, probably for everybody, at least everybody I know. So we'll just gloss over that and do what we're going to do. So I have this story I want to tell, and because I have to do everything complicated in the hardest way possible to do everything, I'm going to tell it by making a visual novel. Okay. Now, the engine I decided to use for this is Renpy. I did an engine test with Unity a couple of years ago, and it seems to work out okay. But for this kind of a game, it's just too complicated. It's too much work. And I tested out Godot like last week. I fiddled around with it, and it's different than Unity, but it's complex in different ways. So what I'm going to do is do Renpy. Now, to do the graphics, my first thought was Blender because hey, it's free, it's open source, it's a good tool, but I can't freaking use it. I've tried using it for like years, and I just can't get the interface to work in my head. It's like I'm banging my head against a wall every time I try to use it. Now I tested out DAZ, which is what a lot of people use for this kind of stuff. And my computer is too much of a toaster. It just can't run it. There's too much lag. And you can't be artistic when you're waiting 5 seconds every time you make a little change. So, DAZ is out. Now, as you can see, with my desktop background, I'm into anime anyway. So I decided to do an anime art style. So, since Blender's out, that brings me to MMD and the PMX editor. It's free, you can use it. The only problem is if you try to use other people's stuff, other people don't like that. They want to limit what you do with it. They want to give permission, and there are certain things you just cannot do with other people's stuff. So we have to do it completely from scratch. Now, the PMX editor is difficult to use when you're trying to make something from scratch. So it's easier if you use something as a base. What we're going to do as base is we're going to use Vroid Studio, because they're great people and they don't care what you do with the 3D models you make with it. So we're going to make a game with it. Now this is just placeholder graphics. This is just me after fiddling with it for a while to see how it worked. I really like how they do the hair. Yes, I made the hair. So yes, it is possible. Now, it's a little tricky, but you can get it into the PMX editor. If I can get my computer to work. You can see, there she is again, just like how we had her. Now, Vroid Studios does a little weird things here and there, so we'll have to make some adjustments and some changes. But for the most part, you can see she looks okay. Now we'll have to go through and completely create our own clothes for her, but you can see it works pretty well. Now, once you get her into MMD itself, let's just, okay, you can see there she is. She's all there, ready to go. Now I downloaded some motion data, so you can see how it works. And I'm going to use this this shader. We'll just make her a ghost girl for this. There we go. It looks nice. Because YouTube doesn't like upskirt kind of stuff, content. So we're just going to make her a ghost. Let's see, I already have that. And you can see it's a little difficult to create motion and animation with this, but it is doable, and it's more a matter of fiddling with it, and it's time consuming. But you can see the animation does pretty well. And we can also render it out as pictures. We can do pose data, and we can do video. And I've tested it out at 1080p, and it works out pretty well. So you can see it does okay. So as far as the graphics go, this is pretty good. At least it's starting out. Now, since I don't know how to really do anything, this is not a tutorial. This is not even close to a tutorial. And I'm not going to make you guys sit while I try to figure out how to code in Renpy, because I'll have to look at tutorials and read documentation and all that crap, and nobody wants to sit and watch that. So we're just going to totally skip all that. But what we are going to do is like graphics and sound, and I'm not a musician at all, so we'll see how music turns out. We're going to use Cruda for textures. You can see textures, and we'll use the PMX editor for stuff. Now, I went through and I created this from scratch in the PMX editor. So this is kind of the graphic style that you can expect. I want it to be like an anime style, but I want it to look as hand-drawn as I can possibly get it. And I think this turned out pretty good. You can see it's okay. For somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, this is alright. This is okay. I'm not going to tell you what this is, because that would be a spoiler. And we'll get into that. Because I don't know any way to do this without spoiling the story at least a little bit. There's going to be spoilers. But once the visual novel is far enough along to where people can play on a little bit, I'll go ahead and release it, and we'll just keep working on it, and people can play updates if they want. But for right now, we're at the very, very, very beginning, so there's nothing much else to do. And that's about it, I think. Now, the next video, we'll jump in head first, and we'll see what we can figure out. So until then, I guess I'll see you guys later. And today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys later.